Finding a quiet place at a conference is a nightmare. But today I'm at Louise Triance's RecTech event, and I've been asked a fantastic question that I feel like I need to answer for the members straight away. It's, how do you improve candidates accepting offers that you get? And it's a great question, but it's a question that's not always easy. The reason being is I often get asked this question when a candidate's in the process of turning down an offer, and I can't really help that. And the reason being is that whether a candidate accepts an offer or not is really down to how you've prepared them all the way through the process. So what we're going to focus on is how do we make sure that we have no surprises? How do we make sure that every candidate accepts every job that you put forward to them? So there's 4 areas we're going to look at. The first one is the role. All the way through the process, we need the candidate to be selling to us why they like the opportunity. Tell us why you like the role. Tell us what your concerns would be. This is really important because if we know what their concerns are, we can get the client to address it. Tell me what your strengths would be for the role. Tell me where you think your development points would be for the role. The key is that all the way through the process, the candidate is selling to you and talking to you about why they like this opportunity. Because remember, when they get offered the job and they resign or they have to tell their partner they're starting a new job, you're preparing them for the questions that they're going to get asked and what they're going to respond. The second thing, we need to think about compensation. The biggest mistake recruiters make is that they don't talk about the package until the end of the process. But the biggest issue that they create is they talk in ranges. Hey, Joe, this is paying 30 to 35K. The candidate remembers 35, the client remembers 30. You know, we've immediately got a disconnect and a mismanagement of expectations. Ideally, as soon as possible, you want the candidate to know an exact number what you're representing to them. Now, sometimes before the first interview, you need to use a range because you want the candidate in front of the client. But when they come out of the first interview, you need to be telling them, right, so I've spoken to the client and they're thinking you would be worth 36K or you'd be worth 33K. You then call the client and then you go, well, Joe wants 35K. And what we've done is rather than having a mismatch, we've got ourselves a buffer. Now it could be Joe goes, actually, I'd only want 34. Well, then that's fine because we've already eating up a little bit of the buffer that we've built. But at least after the first interview, the candidate needs to know the number that you put them forward at. But most importantly, just so you know, this is how many days holiday it is. It's the same number of days holiday that you've got at the moment. Or if there's a mismatch, it's 1 day less holiday, but are you okay with that? Oh, you're okay with that, great. Early in the process, people are much more likely to give up mismatches in package or compensation than at the end of the process when it comes as a surprise, because they're going through the process thinking, well, obviously everything's going to be better. If there's something that's not better, we need to address it early, because the earlier we address it, the more the candidate's going to be focused on the job rather than success, focus on the job rather than what they're not getting. We need to think about logistics. How are they feeling about the commute? How do they feel? What does their partner think? What other stakeholders are there that are going to have a say in whether this is a good job or not? So ask them, what does your partner think of this opportunity? What do your parents think of this opportunity? What do your mates think of this opportunity? You know, get them to start thinking about how other people are going to respond, because they can start those conversations early, which means when they get offered a job, they don't have to go, oh, do you mind if I go and speak to someone? Because that's going to be a car crash. And the last area we need to be talking about all the way through the process is about the competition. How does this job compare with the best job that they could give you internally? Because you know they're going to try to persuade you to stay. You know they're going to sell you the dream. What are you actually going to do when they do that? How does this job compare with the other job other agencies are putting you forward for? How does it compare with the direct adverts that you've got? The important thing is the candidate is selling us, which means by the time you give them the offer, you're able to go, hey, Joe, fantastic news! Fantastic news! We've got you exactly what you were expecting. You said you wanted 34, I've got you 34. You said you wanted 25 days holidays, I've got you 25 days holiday. You wanted a £2,000 bonus, I've got you a £2,000 bonus. At the heart of getting candidates to accept jobs is that when that offer comes, it's exactly what they're expecting. The art is making sure the client side, they know what exactly Joe needs. Hey, Joe needs 34. If she doesn't get 34, she's not going to take this job. Okay? 25 days holiday is good, but your study support isn't as good as it needs. We need an extra day's study leave. How do you feel about that? We need to be managing these expectations all the way through the process so there's no surprises. Hopefully this helps. And remember, keep asking questions, because the whole point of the recruiting gym is that the coaches are here to help you. See you soon. Bye.